Michael.
Hello, Jeff.
What's going on, buddy? How are you? You in LA?
I am. And you?
Las Vegas, born and raised.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to me today, man. I appreciate it.
Nice shot in the background.
Well, thanks. Does it look familiar? That's
Yeah, I was going to say, and it reminds me a lot of my brother, my split personality.
that's my brother. That's my friend Vincent Black, man. He's a complicated guy.
That's right.
So your Annie movie, July 26th, her Deadly Groom. The first 30 seconds of this movie, Michael, he pushes a woman off a cliff. I mean, it kind of sets the tone for his character.
Yes, absolutely. There's no wasting of time. It's let's get right into it and take care of business. Vincent Black, he wants to come out of the gate strong and set the tone for lots of madness and romance.
Yeah, because you guys use a dating app, and I think, especially for someone like me, it's just terrifying for someone over 40 to use those dating apps.
Yeah. The part of the storyline is set up on the dating app. The female lead, played by Kate Watson, she recently divorced, and her friend talks her into using a dating app, and this guy named Vincent Black, played by me, happens to be on there, and that's kind of sets the ball rolling. But yeah, he's as you see, if you've seen the film, he's had his eye on her as a target.
Well, because I was amazed how easy it was for someone to steal her account numbers, ID cards. I mean, Vincent just went in her office and snapped away. I mean, it was that easy.
Well, he's a real pro. I mean, Vincent, knows what he's doing, and he's been doing it for a long time. I take it from all the different aliases he's had, and in and out of trouble with the law. So this is second nature to him. So.
And for an actor to get this kind of juicy role, you must have just loved this, to play a psycho. I mean, the poor real estate lady.
I know the poor real estate lady. I actually really like that scene too. I mean, when she comes back to the house, not to give too much away, but yes, it was a great role to play because I had to both be the romantic leading man, and I also got to play the dark, menacing psychopath who's capable of mass destruction. So that was, a complex character like that is always a great challenge to take on. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I remember I was coming up the freeway from Palm Springs before I was going to shoot, and I was talking to a mentor of mine, about some stuff that was going on in my life, and I'm like, on top of it, I got to play a psychopath. She told me, she says, "Honey, you have that on the natch." I just thought it was hilarious. I said, it just cracked me up. But, we all have the light and the dark in us. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I said, my God, and I was actually supposed to kill one more person in there. They ended up, it was an added scene. They're like, "Oh, we're going to have you come in," and they decided to not keep the scene.
But I was stuck with your contract and said, "Look, it says I'm supposed to kill one more person. We're going to go through with this, right?"
That's right. Yeah. No. I've been meaning to reach out and go, "What happened to that scene?" Because they loved the scene. It was like an improv scene with the kid's dad where I stopped by and surprised him. But during the shoot, I was like, my God, I'm going to kill another person here.
I spoke to Eric Roberts a few weeks ago about another project. Man, what a character. You're never going to find a nicer guy than Eric Roberts.
I love Eric Roberts. We got to spend quite a bit of time. We only had that one big scene. It was a long scene. I think it was like a 4-page scene together, but I got to spend quite a bit of time with him. Wonderful guy, very real, very down to earth. We talked about life. We talked about sports. And then when it was time to shoot, he was great to work opposite of. He was I would describe him as a very giving actor. definitely tries to give you, stuff to work off of, and gave me some good pointers. And no, that was an important scene. I was, I was a little nervous going into that scene, but we were, we got on really well, actually.
And working with Kate Watson, I mean, she was fabulous in this.
Yeah, she's a great actress. I really love Kate. I only met her on the shoot, but yeah, we became pretty close on the shoot, and we spent a lot of time together. Obviously, working on the scenes, but like we would shoot scenes, and then we would like go off and we would start working on the next scenes, and then we would kind of, if we felt comfortable with that, we would go, flash forward to the following day's work. And so we spent a lot of time trying to carve out the scenes, get the pacing and the moments. And
this movie is an LA story too, isn't it? I saw so many landmarks used in the background.
Yes. Yeah, it is an LA story. That's right. Yeah. And
tell me about Jared Cohn. What's his style like? Because he was the writer and the director for the film.
Yeah. Jared, he's a wonderful guy. This was the first film that we did together. And then we did another film after this, of about 3 or 4 months later, called Fast and Fierce Death Race. That was like an action street racing film. So, but this was my first time working with him. And, he's directed a lot of movies. And what I can tell you is he's a wonderful guy. He's very, very gifted, very talented, and we got along like brothers. I consider him like a brother now. And he has a very humble way of directing. There's no ego when he directs, which is a beautiful thing. He just wants to try to get the scene the best that we can do it. Obviously, we were working on trying to get through a lot of work in a short period of time, so we did have to stay focused. But Jared always keeps the vibe very grounded, which as an actor, you really appreciate that, because sometimes things will get intense as far as timing, trying to make the day. And he never gets rattled. I've never seen him get rattled once, and I've done 2 movies with him. He's always just like, cool, like, yeah. And I'd be like, hey, how are we going to get through the scene? Like, I don't know if there's and he'd go, oh yeah, we'll figure it out. And so, so I really appreciated that, he keeps things really grounded, because that allows, everybody to work, at their best, the crew and the cast. And he's really a master at blocking out action scenes. Like there was some, action stunt scenes in this that were pretty complex, to be honest with you. There was one in particular that I just thought, there's so much going on in the scene. I don't know how we're going to get through it in the time we need to. And and he just transforms and he starts directing the moving parts and like this, and the next thing you know, you're like, we're going to do this. Yeah. So yeah, no, it was great working with Jared.
And you have a Las Vegas connection, because I found out that the comedian Marty Allen. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's right. My uncle is a longtime comic and actor and Vegas local, Marty Allen. And shout out to his wife of 35 years, my aunt, Karen Kate Blackwell.
Karen Kate Blackwell is your aunt?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I know her. I know Marty. Well, I knew Marty. And, a friend of mine, he's a critic and a manager in Wisconsin. His name's Gino Solomon. I don't know if you know Gino.
I might have met him.
Yeah, he's I think he's ABC in Wisconsin. He's the critic there. And he and I have been friends for many, many years. And he told me, years ago, he's like, hey, I'm coming to town. You want to go meet Marty Allen? I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'll never forget the first time I went to his house, and he gave me this incredible tour. And I'll never forget, he showed me a handwritten letter he had framed by Elvis on his wall. And I was like, holy cow. And then he was working on his book or something, because he took me to his little casita in the backyard where you saw his entire career. I mean, books, photos. I mean, it was just an undertaking of trying to catalog his life and get something written. So, and Then I got to meet him a couple times down at the Plaza Hotel, his birthday party celebration where he and Kate did a show. It was fantastic, and they invited me to that. And then also when Jerry Lewis had his premiere, Max Rose, he showed up, and those two just hit it off for like, it was just amazing watching him reminisce.
Listen, I love Marty. I mean, I'm saying that as if he's still here, God rest his soul. But I mean, he was a gem. Yeah, and my God, he used to make me laugh so many times. He was one of those guys that had that gift that you just looked at him and you start laughing. He would just have these expressions, on his face. But yeah, no, we were very close. I loved Marty, and we might have crossed paths because I was at quite a few of those birthdays and performances where Marty and my aunt Kate were working together. But I mean, he was classic. He was one of a kind.
It was amazing at his age that his brain never faltered. He was so sharp and so fast, especially on stage. And I'm sitting there just like, he just was always sharp. And a friend of mine, an old roommate in the 90s, worked at a health food store in Vegas called Rainbow's End. And he was there all the time. He would tell me, Marty Allen came in today. Because I always want to say, let me know when he's there because I'm going to race down there to meet him. But he was a big health nut.
Oh yeah, for sure. No. And my aunt's a big health nut, and I am too. So yeah, no, she got him started on all the, Karen got him started on all the health food because she was like that. My God, from the beginning of time, I remember they used to come out to LA. We'd be going, I was a kid, we would go to the Good Earth restaurant and be like, why are we going to these, but that's where, that's where Kate wanted to go. And she got Marty started on that diet. So.
Well, it's great reminiscing with you about Marty Allen and her Deadly Groom, July 26th on A&E. You're a real bastard in the film. So, but it's a great character. It really is. So congratulations and good luck, and come visit us in Las Vegas when you have a chance.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, Jeff, and we'll stay in touch.